basically donating a lot of the money they make on this to charity. So
Like all of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So I think that's great, and you'd be supporting arts as well. So definitely check it out, guys. Yeah. Next thing we need to talk about is The Walking Dead.
Yeah, we do need to talk about that. There was a lot of stuff that happened, but then at the same time, I felt kind of let down by the non-cliffhanger, leave you hanging ending.
Yeah, and
right?
I like how we didn't actually see the 2-minute end of the episode until we watched it today on YouTube.
Right.
So,
it was just really weird. Like it was like, if you want to really watch the cliffhanger, tune into the Badlands.
yeah.
And it's like some shit that it's already 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just I'm gonna go home now. Because you watch it with friends and stuff sometimes, or even if you're watching it at home, you just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
Nobody watches it when it comes on. Some people do. I'm not gonna. Obviously some people do, but most people watch it on DVR. Skip commercials, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I watched it on DVR because I watched the game.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. But anyway, it kind of pissed me off that I was like, you know what? I'll just watch this tomorrow. I'm not going to watch Into the Badlands. I'm sick of seeing that, next on AMC's Into the Badlands. You see the guy go, you want to kill under my name? It's like, how many times do I get to see the first episode of this? But yeah, I mean, whatever. And anyway, The Walking Dead.
Look at these tattoos.
Yeah.
Each one represents a kill.
Yeah, and with the amount of people that guy kills in the trailer, he should have a lot more tattoos. But
I think it was an oversight, when they started putting the tattoos on him, how thick they make them.
Yeah.
Because, really, I mean, he runs out of room eventually.
Yeah.
He's
got tattoos, on his nuts.
They should have.
You can't.
Yeah, it's when you start writing a paper, right? And, it's almost like when you're a kid, you write in, big, as big as you can so you can fill up the pages quicker.
Yeah.
Right? But then, as you get older, you realize that space is a premium and you start writing smaller. And I think they screwed up when they started doing his tattoos.
It's like when you get a poster board and you're like, happy birthday, and you make the H really big, and then you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't have enough room. Yeah, so. But Walking Dead, honestly, there were a lot of good parts to it. Overall, I like I said, I think that the ending was kind of weak, where you have that kid who's all messed up and traumatized about the monsters, having to put zombie guts on you and walk through the things that he's afraid of.
Sam, turn the music down. Why, the monsters?
Yeah.
Why, Mommy?
You have a problem with that kid. But I mean, think about it if it was your kid, man. The kid's fucked up. He's fucked up. He's traumatized. He's grown up in a room where he's leaving. Oh, and by the way, cool-ass little metaphor they had there with the ants on the cookie. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great. But I mean, he's living in his room basically coloring and trying to block everything out, and actually have some sanity. And then the one place that he feels like is a safe place gets overrun by these monsters he's afraid of. So, I mean, I think that I feel bad for the kid, but he's fucked.
His mom's just pretend that you have a pair of balls, honey. Come on, just pretend to be brave, okay?
That's the other thing I don't like about her. She basically tells him to his face that he's a pussy.
Yeah.
How about being you're brave, buddy, you got this.
Yeah.
I know you got this. He's just pretend that you're someone who's not afraid. Yeah, what an asshole.
Can you pretend that you're not a coward, please?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, he basically, she's admitting that her son, that you're, listen, I know that you're a loser and you could never do anything, but pretend that you can.
Yeah.
What an asshole. What a shitty thing to say to your kid, but whatever. I thought that,
come on, if I can pretend I love you, you can do this.
I think that, Carl, as much as I like where his character's going, I got really kind of annoyed with him last night because I usually compare it to whenever you watch any show, I don't know if this happens to everybody else, but I think about what I would do in that situation. And there's a scene where the other kid, I forgot his name, takes out a gun.
Ron,
takes out a gun and basically, holds Carl at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And whatever. And then the walkers come in and the gun gets knocked over, and then he follows him into another room after that and is like, points a gun at him and says, give me the gun, and finally gets it from him. If you hold a gun to me and then you end up almost getting us killed by walkers, and then we get past that and we go into another room and I take the gun from you, I'm going to beat the shit out of you because you almost got me killed and you held me at gunpoint. And Carl just like takes both guns and he's like, look, let's just say it. My dad killed your dad, but your dad was an asshole. Like, awesome that you said that, but dude, knock the kid out. Like, he held you at gunpoint and almost got you killed. Like, I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have gone after him. Like,
I feel like it was I feel like it made him a little more badass though that he didn't knock him out. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because what are they going to do with him knocked out? You know what I mean? Drag him around?
No, just, I don't know, dude. Like, he deserved
Leave
that.
him?
Well, dude, I'm sorry, man. If somebody almost got me killed, I'd knock him out. Like,
Leave him?
No, I wouldn't leave him. But I'm
Then
not
you'd have to
saying
drag
like
him
I'm not
around.
saying like a legit knock out. I mean like hit the kid in the side of the head, and like punch him or something, and just like let him know that you're not fucking around.
I mean, I think he let him know that he's not fucking around by saying, hey, I'm not going to do shit right now because you're not going to do shit. What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know. But
You know what I mean?
but eventually we know what kind of happens to Carl, and who knows if they're even going to do that because they do everything different. I was expecting it to happen this episode, and it didn't. So, I mean, who knows if Carl's actually going to lose his eye from this kid, but kind of knowing that happened in the graphic novels makes me keep an eye, get it, on that other kid, and what he's doing.
I think it's going to happen like right now. Like this moment where they're walking out and, like in this like little like prayer session, like holding hands and whatnot.
Yeah.
As they're walking, I think that's where something's going to happen. Like, I don't know if it's going to be the kid or somebody else. Somebody's going to freak out because that kid's going to say, mommy, 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 mom. And the fucking zombies are going to be like, oh, shit. You just say, mom? That's not one of us. Right? And they're just going to swarm them. And there's going to be gunshots, and it's going to be like, like in the moment, like, and something's going to happen, and he's going to get his eye shot out.
I don't think that's real. Like, the
You'll
whole
shoot
thing
your
of them like
eye
wearing
out.
like
You'll
bed
shoot
sheets
your
and
eye
stuff
out.
and putting like guts on you, like totally get it. But like when they did that almost in the first or second season,
They covered their entire
they covered their
selves.
faces
Yeah.
too. Like that girl, the hot one, is like walking around with her hair
Like
all
perfect.
nice and her face like that gives off a smell. And you're walking right by the walkers.
Yeah, you know her hair smells like
flowers or something. Like this, like she,
pert.
yeah, they have shampoo. I mean, she's well kept together. She's probably
Yeah.
wearing some kind of perfume. Like that didn't make sense to me. Like they're covering up everything but their faces and their heads, which is where you sweat from. And like Rick looks like he just always walked out of like a pool with his hair because he's always sweating.
Yeah.
Like he's got nothing on his face. Like that I didn't believe, especially when you're that close to walkers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
mean,
agree with that because that's what I actually thought the same exact thing when I was watching it. I was like, well, that doesn't really
Makes
work.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. They want to make sure that you can, look at the cute chick and whatnot, and
Yeah.
chicks can check out, Andrew Lincoln. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't like the way that they ended things. I also, for a minute, I was a little annoyed with the whole Morgan Carol thing. I'm kind of glad that Morgan knocked out Carol or body slammed her, because Carol's getting a little annoying. Like, I love her, but I think that she's kind of snapped. Like, I think she's gone. I think she's kind of like snapped like Rick snapped for a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand there's a dude there that is going to do what he ended up doing in this episode. Mm-hmm. But you're really going to fight about him when there's this shit going on right now? Like right now, you're going to pick the time to do this?
Yeah.
The only reason I think she was doing that was because she wants to kill this guy who is going to be a risk when they're actually trying to, fight this whore. She just
Right.
wants him out of the picture so she doesn't have to worry about it and kind of get that safety back that she feels, like that security, because there's this dude that like tried to kill them at one point. He's clearly doesn't give a shit. He's going to get that. I think he's going to get that girl killed. Or he's going to get taken out by walkers.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, like, I was getting a little annoyed with Carol. Like, she fakes a concussion, you know, like, I'm falling asleep. And then all of a sudden, like, he walks out and she goes downstairs. You know, I don't know. That just didn't, I don't know. I had a problem with that. So, whatever.
It's like, I tried to do it, but my legs gave out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and that girl. Yeah.
Angela.
That was freaky, man. I actually thought she had turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that scene because Rick like walks up on her and he's just getting ready to like whack her, and then she's like, "It's me," and he's like, "Oh man, you almost got it."
You almost got an axe to the cranium.
Like I could see it, I could see it in his eyes, and like the way that his expression was on his face, you could hear it in his head. He's just like, "Woo, man, you almost got it."
Yeah.
Don't ever do that shit again.
Somebody has to be with you from now on. That's what he say. He's like, and it can't be her.
Yeah.
So,
It's like Rick had jokes last night, man.
yeah, he did. Well, what did he say? He's like, he's talking to. Why do I keep remembering blonde girl?
Jesse.
Jesse's talking to Jesse, and he's like, she's cracking jokes. Whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we got to wait until this fucking break's over, and we got to wait until Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
to literally see.
What a wonderful
goes.
wonderful day to bring The Walking Dead back.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Go out for dinner?
No.
Walking Dead.
Watching The Walking Dead.
Yeah. I'll just DVR it because you know they're not going to do shit the first episode. Like, they're not going to do anything, like, crazy. Or maybe they will. Maybe
No,
somebody
they're
will
going
get...
to. They're going to. Listen, man.
Negan's in the picture now. Or
First episode's going to be fucking so great.
Yeah, well...
And you know why?
People are dying.
You know why? All the shit that I've been waiting for is going to happen in the first episode of next season just to set everything off. Because they do that. Every year, it's like they end something on a note where you're just like... Oh, I know exactly what's going to happen, and then they do it. Like the last season break was them getting locked in that trailer, those trains.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then they let them out, and well, not let them out, but then they ended up like fighting their way out of Terminus.
Right.
You know what I mean. But like that first episode was fucking badass because it was literally just all out war between Rick's people and the people at Terminus.
Right.
In that first episode, and then like they went on from there, they moved on from that episode. So I really feel like it's going to be it's going to go. Everything's going to go down. You're gonna fucking have Carl get shot in the face. Negan's going to show up, and all that shit's going to go down with his crew, the Saviors, and it's just going to be awesome.
Gotcha. I mean, I think it's going to be good. I think it's, yeah, I mean, that brings up a good point. It probably will be crazy, the first episode. But then, we got to go through the rest of the season. And I feel like it kind of, I hope it just has momentum and keeps going. And I think it will with this whole Negan character being involved.
Right.
I was really hoping that Abraham was going to do something with those rockets. And they're obviously going to be taken. So it sucks. But anyway, oh man, I think I'm excited for Jessica Jones because I started watching that.
Yeah, man.
Jessica Jones kicks ass.
I've actually watched the series 3 times.
3 times?
I've gone through it 3 times.
Insane.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I mean, I will say from what I've watched so far, it's good. I think I'm 2.5 episodes in. I watched 2 episodes, and then the 3rd episode, I was trying to get through it last night, but I was so tired that I started falling asleep, so I just stopped it. I'm going to finish it today. And I oddly enough, Becca was in the other room, and she heard almost the entire first episode just from the other room.
Yeah.
And she walked in for the tail end of it, and she's like, "This sounds interesting." And then she watched the 2nd episode with me, so she's probably actually going to get into it too.
Nice.
So, and I'm a big fan of Kristen Ritter. I think she's killing it.
Yeah.
And she's super hot in this.
She does a really good job